Ngunara Orun Bobo Orisha for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm Ayansa JT Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Alafia and Ekule. It is 17 minutes past your 9 o'clock hour. So sorry for the CP time, but better late than never. I am Ayansa J. Muse giving you your nightly mystic forecast. I'm broadcasting live from my YouTube, from my Saturn Daily Facebook page, and my Saturn Daily Instagram. Ayansa Jester. Why? Because it's Saturday and the day of the Crossroads. It's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time is the day for and the time for your 9 o'clock mystic forecast. I do play ode to your ancestors, to your orishas, and to your spirit guides for leading you here tonight. I am Ayansa J. Muse, bringing you the mystics, the music, and the mojo on your Saturn Day ruled, Eshu venerated Saturn Day. 222.9 The Mothership plays classic hip hop all day long until the clock strikes 8. Then we enjoy some comedy from some of the world's most profound, and prolific comedians. It is Saturday, June 24th, 2023, and let's talk a little bit about the divinity of Saturday. Saturday is day 6 of the week, the day of the beast, the flesh of man, at least according to the book of Genesis in the Bible. In many Orisha traditions, Saturday is venerated to the Orisha Eshu, and other lineages, Eshu's day is Moon Day. But here on the mothership, we put Eshu on Saturdays because Saturn is a trickster planet, and Eshu is trickster energy. That lines up, doesn't it? Ibashe Ojo Abameta. Ojo Abameta is in the Yoruba tongue for Saturday, and it means the day of 3 resolutions. So if I were you, this is something that's been working for me. Select 3 things that you would like to see resolution to on Saturdays, and then work the following week to get those 3 resolutions taken care of. Now, Saturday is the most carnal of all energies for the ruling days of the week. So this is when you don't want to let the sun beat you home. You ever notice when people who live the club life, Saturdays when you're out on a Saturday night, people just act a damn fool? Why? Because that root energy is at an all-time high. And when that energy is raised and it's not trained and it's not disciplined, oh, all kinds of things are bound to happen. Eshu in the Orisha tradition is the divine trickster, the messenger of the Orishas, and nothing gets done without him. Metaphysically, practically, Eshu represents the simple power of the choice, the power of intention, the power of making the right decision in the first place, should I say? Because a lot of people mistake Eshu for the devil because he tempts you. Yes, he does. He tests you. He sees if you live in spirit over flesh or flesh over spirit. And that's why I love to say when it comes to Eshu, he has no problem laughing with you or at you. So when you are in the midst of his presence, you make sure that your intentions are where they need to be. Because when you strive for good character, Eshu opens all the doors for blessings. If you are living in your ego or you one of those crooked mofos, Eshu will open the door to all the things you desire, but he'll let you learn of the consequences that come with them. So that's why hip hop talks a lot about the carnal energies, and I play it on Saturday. There's a lot of lessons in hip hop music if we really listen to it. Even the music that we think is dirty. Saturn Day, ruled by Saturn, is the turn up day for Capricorns and Aquarians, honey. So if you got Capricorns and Aquarians close in your circle, Give them a little extra time and get a little extra to serve up today. Because they're going to be a little extra today because it's their ruling planetary day. And you don't always have to wait until your zodiac season to turn up when there are planetary rulers of each and every day. So, with that in mind, I'm going to let that marinate for a second. And when I come back, we are going to talk about what's so significant about this Saturday and why I titled it New Beginnings, New Crossroads. I'm my Auntie J Muse, and this is your nightly Mystic Forecast. And as always, you're listening to 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio. Beam up. And we're back. So, just in case you're just now joining us, I'm my Auntie J Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you your nightly mystic forecast on your Saturday night, June 24th, 2023. So, it's a new season, new beginnings, new crossroads. Why did I say new beginnings, new crossroads? Because Saturday brings about all those inner and outer crossroads, but the daily numerology vibrates on a number one. And number one, that's the common denominator of everything that multiplies, if that makes sense. Number one represents new beginnings, the divine masculine driving force behind all that makes life happen. So, with number one and tied with the crossroads, this is a good time to look at your choices and how do they affect your new beginnings. Are you really working towards new beginnings? Or are you holding on to old habits and old things and old everything that's no longer serving who you are today? That's something to think about. You got 2.5 hours to make the most of this Saturday energy before it shifts into the Obatala Sun ruled Sunday energy. It is the first Saturday of Zodiac House 4 crab season, with the moon tonight still waxing in Virgo. That's house 6, that's 6 times, that's 3 by 2, so there's a double issue energy there as well. Virgo is the mutable earth sign that deals with the practical application of things. So, with Ibashe Ojo Abameta, the day of 3 resolutions, you want to take tonight's moon to look at the practical application of how you can go about doing that 1%, doing that one little thing that's going to move you in the direction towards your highest destiny. And tonight's moon is here for it, honey, so you can go ahead on with that. I'm going to take another quick break, and when I come back, we're going to talk about the planets and we're going to talk about what's going on with people who were born on this day. I'm my Auntie J Muse, and this is your nightly Mystic Forecast. If you're listening over the airwaves of 222.9, the mothership, you're hearing this smooth, sultry voice of mine over the Uchi Wally. Instrumental, of course, because the lyrics are just too disgusting. Beam up. I painted this one red and black for you. Listen. It's Saturday, Saturn rises, primal desires, the day of the 6th. Be careful where and who you mix. Your mastery, your ego may need a fix, as choices form tapestries of a spiritual stagnant or a grown and blown. Try not to let the sun beat you home. Perhaps it's Saturday. The expose. Saturn exposes which keys we chose as pictures of crossroads, maps out guides. Eyes left, guide right. Pele, keep it tight, as yesterday's love turns into today's want. Temptations dangle to taunt, the flesh oblivious to haunt, the self prime for carnal indulgence, the big if. The house winds and wears of where our inhibitions take a shift, tricksters blow a kiss, and the wind gives a thick, stiff breeze of three resolutions. It's Saturn Day. And I answer J.T. Muse. Free verse, short poem. Ashe.
I ain't coming for no foolishness.
Endorphins. The human body's natural way of accessing its own built-in healing medicine, induced by laughter. The tricky thing is, Ibashe is one can learn much about a person's spirit and soul through the very things that humor them. And there are a special breed of crossroad children who specialize in the art of creating truthful humor out of anything from sex to society, and even from their own personal pain. So funny it's even a little bit sinister. And we call those crossroad children comedians. So join us every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to stimulate and release some endorphins. Spark your root chakra. Get your giggle on with some of history's most profound comedians as well as the local ones. They say that laughter is the best medicine, so beam up and get your dose. That's Sinister Endorphins, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays. Only on your Mystic Haven on the airwaves, 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up. And we're back. Thank you for sticking around and getting your nightly mystic forecast to get this wisdom that you can use, apply, and align your Saturday night going into Sunday rising. If you were born on June 24th, you are quick and have a good, clear thinking mind. Although you are sometimes unintentionally brusque in your speech, you have a strong determination and the conviction of your ideas. You make friends and hold on to them. And the love you will compel will be strong and steadfast. So, a very happy solar return to all of you who were born on this day. And all of you in the other 11 zodiac houses, make sure you give those crabby people born in Zodiac House 4 some extra love. We are still in the first decan of crab season, so only people born between the 21st of June and July 1st are 100% crab. After the 2nd to the 12th, you actually have Scorpio. And from the 13th to the 21st, you're actually half Pisces. In the Kemetic way of the stars, we are still in the season of the Nile. And in the African way of the stars, we are still in the season of the ancestor. Just let me get my feet warm and get myself in my groove, and we're going to talk about the other zodiac systems. But right now, I just use the Western astrology because it's the one everybody can relate to. Makes sense? Let's talk about the planets. We are 6 days now, 6 days away from Neptune retrograde. Neptune goes into retrograde on June the 30th and will stay there until December 6th. There's a lot of threes in that. 6, 3 by 2, 30, there's the 3 again, 12, 3 by 4, 6, 3 by 2. So there's a lot of XU energy mixed up in Neptune's retrograde this year. Be mindful of your delusionism, stay grounded to avoid escapism, avoid your vices and being disconnected from reality. Reaccess your dreams and manifest them, and that's how you separate your dreams from delusionism, by simply taking the practical, material steps here on earth to make them happen. Life is a dream, it is, but there's a delicate balance between being a dreamer and staying grounded. Ashe. And manifestation comes out of delusion and into reality when actual action is put towards them. So, we are in the midst currently of Saturn and Pluto retrograde. Saturn went into retrograde on June 17th and will be there until November 4th. Saturn is the planetary ruling day for today. It is the trickster energy of karma, discipline, power, and the carnal essence. Focus on your important life lessons, those deeper crossroads. Take a good look at what your priorities are, for there are many rewards for self mastery, self discipline, and the deepest of self expression. Because when you cleanse your spirit and your soul of things you need to see, things you need to say, and things you need to do, you allow those things to come back to you. Pluto is in retrograde as well, the higher octave of Mars, the planet of regeneration, the planet of transformation. So I like to say Ogun and Oya both dance on that planet. It's very subtle though. So pay attention to those subtle things that make all the big differences. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we're going to shift into from Saturday into Sunday. I'm Mayance J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Trying to pull up the commercial I want to play for y'all. It's 222.9. The Mothership offers so many different shows because it is a 24-hour a day, 7-day groove. So, no, the Mothership ain't no podcast. It ain't no radio show either. It's a 24-hour, 7-day a week planetary groove. Ashe, Ashe.
May 13th. Blank face, soapstone, my throne, no clones, dripping lyrical honey from my beehive drones or wasp nest. At the behest of my ego, I grow, I go, you'll know. Soon enough.
The original rapper, your first hip hop artist, was the ancient African warrior who told his stories of triumph or defeat over a drum beat. Ever wondered why rappers always say, "Gimme a beat"? Well, that beat is the sacred baton of the heart. And what does rap even stand for anyway? Rhythm and poetry. So why not experience it in its raw form? You know, the open style, blaze the mic, spit the bars, poetic gospel. Oh yes. So if you aren't afraid, then join us at 6 p.m. for Rhyme, the Underground Gospel. That's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, that is, for an hour of straight bars from everyday people. And who knows, you may hear a few of Mama's rhymes. Only on your mystic musical haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. Did you like it here at the Crossroad? The Jester's intersection? Then why don't you join me tomorrow for some R&R in the Alabaster Divine? That's www.poeticallymused.org/Alabaster Divine. Great place to spend a Sunday. See you there. Ashe. And we're back. In case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayance J. Muse, and you are getting your nightly mystic forecast. Before the break, we were talking about Saturday, day 6 of the week, the energies we were in tonight, as we recap that and move into the energies for tomorrow. You have about 2.5 hours to do what you need to do with everything I gave you for Saturday's energy. And now we move into the energy of the sun. Now, I got to tell you, between Saturday and Sunday is the biggest energetic leap in the energy. Why? Because Saturday is the most carnal of all the energies. Saturday deals with a lot of root chakra energy, but Sunday shoots it all the way up to the crown. So Kundalini rises, and especially like prayers or rituals or anything that's done to rise the Kundalini energy, is best done on a Saturday night into Sunday morning. Why? Because the root energy shoots all the way to the crown chakra. Sundays in Orisha tradition venerate the Orisha Obatala, the spirit of purity, the spirit of the white cloth, humility, patience, perseverance, and he holds a prototype for all other Orishas in the pantheon. And that's why Obatala is considered the king of the Orisha. Sunday is the turn up day for everybody born in Zodiac House 5. Leo, stand up. Hey, 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 that's me. The day vibrates on a 2, which is a feminine number, the number of the overall divine feminine. And that comes on a Sunday as well. So that brings us to a perfect balance as Obatala is androgynous. It's the first Sunday of crab season and the first Sunday of summer solstice. The moon is still waxing in Virgo, headed into Libra. So find those practical ways to modify and be more modest in the areas of your energy. Increase your practical application behind the goals you set, but balance your primal drive with your spirit of humility. That way, your spirit doesn't take over your ego, and your ego does not take over your spirit. Join me tomorrow on 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio. Beam on up to the groove so that you can enjoy the best in gospel and smooth jazz. So, I'm going to take another quick break, give you a peek at what I'm talking about, and then we're going to get to tonight's tarot draw. I'm Mayansa J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Ashe. Rest, restore, reflect, purify, gospel, white, old time religion. Ibasheo Batala, Ibasheo Rumila, sermons, humility. Welcome to Sundays on the Mothership. Ashe. And we're back. So, those of you that are listening over the mothership's airwaves are also listening to the sounds of the Uchiwali instrumental. Though now you're going to have to enjoy imagining what these tarot cards look like, because this is where the people watching on video get the advantage. So, I'm going to start with tonight's tarot card. On Saturdays, I use my good old pack of playing cards to do some divination for you. And this card comes from the Ten of Hearts. Okay? The Ten of Hearts is one of the best cards to draw in the tarot deck. This card speaks to abundance in all things, abundance in love, abundance in wealth, abundance in family, abundance in all things. But the message of this card is that love is the key to it all. Because if you gain all these things and you don't have love, then what's the point in really having it? That's when you become challenged by your own sense of greed. So even good cards are challenging when they're not properly balanced. Balance is always the way in all things. So when wonderful cards like this show up, be mindful of what you're going to be ready to do to maintain these blessings once you receive them. Because blessings can become curses when they're not properly maintained. That moves me into Sunday's card. And I only use an angel deck with affirmation words on them until I get to the scriptures. Oh yes, I'm gonna start using scriptures too, and I know, don't say it. How's she gonna read tarot and then turn around and read the Bible too? Because of the Bible verse in Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12, honey. Any practice that helps a man serve the Lord, let him keep it. Otherwise, throw it away. Let the church say amen. Anywho, this card says limitless. What does it mean to be limitless? And we all want to talk about that. We all want to manifest that. We talk about that freedom, but limitlessness starts from within because your external world is a reflection of your internal world, if that makes sense. So search your inside, search your heart, search your mind, check your chakra areas, and find the areas you have limited yourself and remove those blocks so that you become internally limitless. And when you become limitless internally, it manifests on the outside very, very easily. I am Mayantha J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Should you need a personal reading, I'm about to drop the link in the description box now. Ashe. A question on the heart is the spirit's thirst for clarity. Readings, consultations, I call them intuitive counseling sessions, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like gumbo or peach cobbler. You may have tried many, but you haven't had mine. I can say I met the divine when I was about 9. Ever since I was 16, I found myself wondering, do I have an invisible "please come tell me your business" sign taped to my forehead? Then one day I was sitting at the bus stop at a crossroad, and I had the audacity to ask the goddess, why was I even sent to earth? And I became an ethereal, intuitive counselor. And the universe has been answering that question over and over again, one phone call at a time, for the last 9 years. From there, in between sessions, I began to relentlessly apply, align, and study the ways of the stars and of the ancients. 3 years in, Orisha priestesshood to Oya came knocking. Hence the Iya in the name Iyansa J, Iyansa, an Oya praise name. Oya is the Orisha who brings radical transformation and change. Make no mistake about it now, baby. I am no soothsayer. I am no fortune teller. I'm not a private investigator. I don't cast love spells. I'm not an emotional punching bag. I'm not a spiritual trash dump. I am not a haven for jinn spirits. I give guidance with clarity, with wisdom, with love, with truth. I unlock keys to your spiritual growth and your highest destiny according to your unique design. Ready for some evolutionary change? Let's talk. And we're back. So that concludes tonight's forecast. I thank you all for joining me, and I hope you got some things you can use energetically to align tonight. You got about an hour and 15 minutes, and I hope I gave you some things that you can work with tomorrow. But it's about that time for me to beam on back up to the mothership to keep cooking up that music, that mystic, and that mojo, baby, to keep you aligned and in the one planetary groove. Stay tuned though, because in 15 minutes will come my rendition of what love looks like. And Saturday nights, it gets kind of freaky, so don't let the sun beat you home. I got a couple of cuts from Nas coming up as I click off tonight. So if you're watching on the video, beam on over to the mothership and beam up to the 24/7 groove so you don't have to just get 1 hour of mystic wisdom. You can get sleep meditation at midnight or Risha music in the morning, classic, old school, soul feeding music, and indies all day long. Different music rotations according to the different planetary alignments and rulers. All that one big pot of cosmic gumbo cooked up by your girl. Don't miss out now. And remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of the great elder George Clinton, free your mind and your ass will follow. I'm Mayasa J. Muse, and this has been your nightly mystic forecast. Take care, good night, and stay tuned for what love looks like. Ashe.
Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the mothership. Beam up.